Hi there, class. So this is just a short little introduction to try to explain to you how I'm setting up the lecture modules. What I would like for us to do, and this is what a few of you said you would like as well when we met the Monday before we paused classes, is try to keep kind of the flow of class the same with the lecture outlines, the key terms, and the study guides. So what I've done is I've set up a module. In that module, you'll find our lecture outline. I would encourage you to look over whatever textbook reading is assigned with that lecture before opening the lecture module. Before in class I had said to kind of use the textbook in a way that would help you. Either read the textbook before you came to class, so you had the background, and then I said you could also consider coming to class, getting the lecture, and then looking over the material that was assigned in the textbook later. Now, I would suggest that you look at the textbook before you open that lecture module. Again, I would read the textbook alongside our outline, because some of the things that are in the textbook we aren't going to talk about in the lecture outline. So if you read that textbook alongside your lecture outline, you can kind of know what you need to focus more on and think more about in the textbook reading. So after you've looked over the textbook reading, open up the lecture module. Our outline will be in there. And then what I've done is I've underlined the text in the outline that we're going to focus on. So I'll have a couple of those terms underlined, and then underneath the underlined text, I will either just write out an explanation of why that person, term, event is significant, or I'll do like a few minutes on YouTube to explain why it matters. Might give you a film clip or a website to look at, but you'll find the directions to where you'll look for that relevant information underneath the underlying text. Every module will also have just a general discussion board where you can ask questions about anything connected to that outline. Now, there'll also be some discussion boards about the primary sources that are on the outline. Again, we usually talk about those primary sources in class, so now we can do that through a discussion board. But again, there'll be a general discussion board for each lecture where you can just ask questions and try to figure things out or make comments, and I'll respond to those. I encourage you all to talk to each other too via the discussion board. That's kind of the best way to make it feel like an in-person class. Again though, none of the discussion boards, like in terms of the participation, is mandatory. I don't want to add any extra work to this transition. And in theory, each lecture module should take you about an hour and a half. It should mimic about the time to get through that lecture module that you would have spent in class going over that same material, because we usually do an outline about every lecture. Sometimes we have to go over into another lecture, but they're each set up to be about an hour and a half. So stay in touch with me. Let me know how you're feeling, how this arrangement in terms of how we're setting up this online transition from our face-to-face class to Canvas is working for you, and if there's anything I can do to help make things feel a little easier for you, I really want you to tell me. I keep saying it and typing it, but we're all in this together. Okay, thanks. Take care.